Oh yeah, part of that. Yeah, it's obviously getting close to the start of the season, but it's good to see Ben Rutten train today, and looks like he's going to be right to go potentially next week, but probably more likely he'll be ready to go for round one. And yeah, we've pretty much got a full squad to choose from, which is every coach's delight, and obviously something we're pretty happy about. But yeah, touch wood, things can change pretty quickly, but we're in a really good spot at the moment, which is good.
Maybe that's your influence, because it seems like the last few years the Crows have been plagued with injuries. Do you know if you've been doing anything different in the pre-season to get more guys on the park?
Not necessarily. We've structured our training up very differently, I guess, to the past, but some of it's just luck. We've had some near misses, I guess, with some injuries, and we've just been cautious with guys who've had some sore spots, and there's been some slight adjustment to the way that we've trained, but at the same time, part of it's just good luck and good management.
Will this be your first real good look at the team, because everyone's pretty much back now?
Yeah, it is. Our plan was always week 3, week 4 to try and settle the side down. So as best we can, we've had a look at a lot of our young talent, and I must admit we've been really proud of their efforts, and they've set the bar pretty high for the rest of the group now. Some guys have missed out this week who deserve to play, which is disappointing for their point of view, but I guess match committee and coach-wise, I'm really happy with their efforts, and hopefully now those senior boys that have come in will live up to the expectations that those young guys have set.
Are you tempted by the prize at all to rethink what you're going to do in the next 2 weeks?
No, not at all. Our focus is still to play well through the NAB Cup, expose younger players to AFL football, but at the same time, our major objective is to get the side ready to play in round 1.
Your expectations, have they been met of what you've seen so far, or you've been surprised by how well you're going?
No, we're pretty much where we thought we would be. I mean, we hoped we would be in a situation where we've had a couple of close wins, which the boys came from behind, and then we took a young squad to Alice and got a really good result. So that's really pleasing. But at the same time, yeah, the injuries, to be injury-free is a fantastic bonus, and it does set us up for the start of the season, which is nice. But all this week, everything internally has just been about the Collingwood game. Anytime you get to play Collingwood on your home deck, we owe it to our supporters and our fans that we play well, and we play the Crows way.
Brenton, I heard you used to live with Nathan Buckley a while ago. Do you have any sort of inside tips on his preparation or anything like that?
No, not really. Yeah, obviously we're very close. We're good mates. We've remained in contact, and for the last, I guess, 15, 16 years, and very close friends, but the best of enemies too this weekend. So, I mean, Friday night will be a great opportunity for us to play Collingwood and to play well, and I'm sure we'll shake hands at the end of the game and go back to being friends, but we're always going to be arch enemies, I think, when it comes to coaching.
Sort of a bit of circle work and the talk we practice out there. Do you consider yourself an old school coach?
No, it's very difficult. The day before the game, you have to hold the boys in. They're bursting at the seams. They're full of energy. We time it so they wake up tomorrow and they're just ready to play. So there's a lot of youthful exuberance out there, and it's been happening for a long time. Though the players, end of each drill, they grab a ball and kick it as far as they can. We try to tell them not to do that, but it's something that they always do, it seems. But yeah, the bit of the circle works. Yeah, just a light run. We only did 10 minutes worth of drills today. We're coming off back-to-back 6-day breaks and a really tough game up in the wet in Alice Springs. So we've sort of timed it this week that they sort of feel like they're ready to play tomorrow night.
When you said earlier playing the Crows way, what did you mean by that?
Oh, there's a distinct way that we want to play. We've certainly got our game plan fundamentals, which we try and adhere to. It's really important that we still allow our players to play within our system. But yeah, we owe it to our fans that when they come and watch us play, they're going to be proud of what they see. So there's a certain style, certain brand that we want to present to our fans every week.
You seem to want to push more through the corridors. Collingwood the hardest team to do that against?
Collingwood's a very difficult opponent. They defend as well as anyone. Their pressure on the ball carrier, their ability to shut down the corridor. They force you to make mistakes, and we've spoken about that today in our pre-game meeting about how we can absorb some of that pressure, particularly early in the match. But we know we're in for a fierce contest tomorrow night. It's been disappointing to read about the final when we've still got a really important game ahead of us. And I promise you, every meeting we've had this week's been about Collingwood, and our focus is entirely on that game.
Have you got set times for your players? Some of you only get a certain amount of time.
It's a difficult one to manage during the season, during the pre-season competition, because you'd love to expose as many players as you can to AFL matches and AFL simulation, but it is difficult too because we've got a full list and we can't look at everyone for full games. So as best we can, we'll manage players playing a half, playing 3/4, and do everything we can to have a real good look at the list before we play round one.
Will the scoreboard affect that at all? Would you be tempted if you're really close and can win it to keep guys on, or regardless, they just take them off because you look at others anyway?
We're going to take players off no matter what the score is. If we're going to go in with a game plan and we'll adhere to that. So regardless of the score, the situation of the game, we'll stick to our plan this week.
How important is it to have games at AAMI Stadium and regular AFL venues rather than going to country footy?
This is where we play 12 games a season, so as many times as we can get the group together on AAMI Stadium, we have to grab it. I'd love for South Australian football supporters, not just Adelaide supporters, to turn up tomorrow night. You know, it's free car parking here. It's Friday night against Collingwood. What a great opportunity to come down and watch some really quality players play. And if we get a big crowd tomorrow night, it's a real shot in the arm for South Australian footy, I think. So just almost demand every South Australian, if you love your footy, come down tomorrow night. It's going to be a cracking game.
So you prefer to be at AAMI rather than going down to Encounter Bay like Porter?
Oh, I think so, yeah. I mean, any chance you get to play on your home deck, you've got to grab it. And I know our boys are looking keen. Anytime you can play against a top 4 side, and you know Collingwood, they're a difficult team to beat, and we'll do everything we can. And it's important that we get a lot of support behind us.
Do you think some of that final's got a bit ahead of the date, or?
Yeah, we can't control what's set outside of the footy club. You know, we'll keep our focus a lot more narrow than externally what the expectations are. But we understand that's the environment that we live in. But I'll say it again, there's been no talk internally at this footy club this week about anything more than beating Collingwood on Friday night.
Did you see the nickname Nui, Martin?
No.
Basketball game.
Oh yeah, the dunk, yeah.
Now that you're a coach, how does moments like that go through your mind?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I mean, that's for West Coast to deal with. We obviously prepare our players to play every week. Externally, I'm not sure what other clubs' feelings are on that, but we do everything we possibly can to prepare our players to play well on Saturday. And I'm not sure if the dunk comp's the right decision, but that was something for West Coast to decide.
You've got one internally. You've got Bernie Vince who likes to go to Stansbury to play cricket. The word is he's intending to go back there this weekend. How do you feel about that?
No, he's going to watch. He's not going to play. So I think he's played in 8 in a row, 8 grand finals in a row. But this week he'll be watching from the sidelines.
Had he wanted to play, what would you say?
No.
Simply because it should be football and football.
Yeah, we're very close to the start of the season. We can't risk any players being exposed to any unnecessary risk.
Had he asked to play?
He's asked to go and watch, but we dealt with that issue 6 or 8 weeks ago. And that's not just for Bernie, that's for the whole team as well. It's football season now.
How did he take it? Because I know he loves getting back there, and it's a big part of his life.
Yeah, he's okay. He's played in 8 premierships, so he said it's fine. He'll go and support his team.
Maybe one here first.
Maybe.
Right.
Thanks, Brenton.
Thanks, Brenton. Just to go back to the way you played, Brenton.
Yep.
I know that little information becomes sort of big conclusions, but have those 3 games begun to show what Adelaide's going to be about?
I think so, yeah.
About you more kick orientated than handball orientated, is that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Real, or just the stats doing the lines on us again?
No, that's real. I mean, that's we certainly review the game and prepare for the game. We're going to almost incredible depth with how we want to play, and we've spent a lot of time this summer educating our players on our fundamentals. And you're probably seeing a fair bit of that in the first 3 games we've played, and the test will be testing it against the top 4 side, one of the best sides in the competition. So that's, I guess, a reality check of pretty much where we're at.
Why's the kick become popular again? We had that Sydney West Coast 1-to-1 ratio in 0.56.
Yeah, there's too much pressure around the ball now. You can't afford, I mean, at the moment, defence around the ball is superior to attack around the ball. So the ability to flip it around like Geelong did in 2007 now. St Kilda, Collingwood, Geelong, those sides can defend that. So the kick, the yardage, getting the ball to the last line of the press has become a bit in vogue at the moment.
Were you a believer in the stats the AFL issued yesterday that the sub-rules work?
To be honest, I haven't had a chance to read that memo yet, and I intend to, because I think I'll have some strong opinions of it, but probably next week might be the right time to ask me that one. But I do want to have a good look at that, and we'll sit down as a club and with management and work out exactly what our view is on that. But I guess the reality is whatever they give us, if it's 3 and a sub, 2 and a sub, every team's the same, and we'll learn and coach around it and do the best we can to prepare our team. So, but yeah, I want to have a good look at that before I make any call on that one.
Is your primary thought player or coaching tactics?
In what regard?
Well, if the rule has a detrimental effect on the player, or does it have an advantage as a coaching tactic? Which way suits you more?
I mean, my gut feel is the game should be as entertaining as possible. And if we want to get people through the turnstiles, get people to games, the game should be a really good spectacle. And if we're taking away players' ability to play well, then I'm not sure whether we should be tinkering with the rules too much in that regard. But I understand the concern with collision injuries, fatigue injuries, that as much as we can, coaches will try and make players stronger, faster. So it's going to reach a point at some point where something's got to give. So we'll see.
Just finally, are you going to have all your assistant coaches tomorrow night? Will they be tending to?
We should. Bickley's in hospital at the moment with Tori, and Clarkie's partner Ali gave birth last night. So we've got one's right, and the other one's on standby at the moment. But it's exciting news for us. Yeah.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.